y'all. And the thighs don't match. Well, turn to your neighbor and say, these BBLs killing y'all. Oh, yeah. And the thighs don't match. What a shame.
Okay, this young lady said, y'all be saying anything. BBLs don't produce a smell. If somebody stinks, it's personal hygiene. That is completely false and untrue. As a matter of fact, you see one of the side effects of a BBL is fat necrosis, which produces an excretion of the fat that was put in, and it smells. Another lady in my comments confirms that she had a BBL and had to wait 4 months before she could do anything because of the excretions. You can also see doctors who have duetted and stitched my video and said that fat necrosis is a thing with BBLs, and it indeed smells.
The BBL has the highest mortality rate for cosmetic surgery. So people are literally putting their lives on the line for a butt that's fake, that don't look good. What's going on, y'all, man? So I want to talk about Erica Russell, a mother from Tennessee, a mother of 5 who went down to Miami, Florida to get a BBL and ultimately lost her life. So the family is now suing the medical malpractice who did this procedure to her because the doctor who did the procedure, I think he had 7 BBLs he did prior to hers. This man was doing an astronomical amount of BBLs that day, and she was the last one and she lost her life on the table. So in this video, I'm gonna pull up a video from NBC6 News out in Miami. But before we get into that, man, here on Broken Traditions, we about breaking away from traditions of toxic Black culture, such as this neo-tradition of getting plastic surgery to meet up with social media standards. If you're into that kind of content, you got that kind of mindset, please join the movement. This is my second video about BBLs, somebody dying from BBLs in about like a 2-week span. I think it's time to have this conversation and the discussion because this is really getting out of hand. I mean, not getting out of hand, this is out of hand. This is out of hand on many standards. And not to mention, the BBL has the highest mortality rate for cosmetic surgery. So people are literally putting their lives on the line for a butt that's fake, that don't look good. First and foremost, man, let's get into this video from NBC News out in Miami. Then after that, we're going to have a conversation about it. Let's go. And as always, I'll put links in the description so you guys can check these videos out in its entirety.
Welcome back. Well, the family of a Tennessee mother who lost her life after undergoing a popular plastic surgery procedure in Miami is suing the surgical center and the doctor who performed the operation.
And it's a case the NBC6 investigators have been following for years now. Miriam Masihi has the latest.
33-year-old Erica Russell, a mother of 5, left her home in Tennessee in 2021 to travel to Miami for a Brazilian butt lift, or BBL, the plastic surgery procedure that has one of the highest mortality rates.
This is why we have to have these conversations, man. You know, I didn't know. Shout out to Nika. I'm gonna bring up Nika a little later in the video, but shout out to Nika. She's on BBL bumpers. Not in a, I guess, a no pun intended, but she's on the bumpers of the BBLs, or how people going through pain or all these different medical mishaps that these stories don't get out. You know, you just hear about a woman going to get a BBL, or you just see a woman pop up, 2 weeks later from work with a BBL, and you're like, oh, okay, like, you know what she did. And, it's just something that it sounds so common, it sounds so easily, but this procedure has the highest mortality rate. And now these 5 children no longer have their mom. So let's continue on.
Like many folks and, across the country, come to Florida and seek to have these plastic surgery procedures.
Russell had the popular plastic surgery at Seduction Cosmetic Center on Southwest 8th Street. State records show her surgeon, Dr. John Sampson, entered the operating room at about 6:32 that morning and performed 6 other surgeries before Russell's procedure, which began at about 8:31 in the evening.
This man started at 6:30 and he got to her at 8:30? That's 14 hours. 14 hours this man is working on BBLs. No, excuse me, 14 hours before he got to this woman doing BBLs. That's insane.
By the time he got around to our client after 8:30 at night, he was on his now 7th procedure of the day.
According to her autopsy, Russell died of a fat emboli and internal bleeding after the doctor perforated organs during the liposuction portion of the surgery and then injected fat too deep into her buttocks, hitting the muscle, something that was prohibited by law after studies conducted by the American Society of Plastic Surgeons showed it was the cause of most BBL deaths.
We know that they went across the plane, the muscle plane that they're not supposed to go across, which dramatically increases the risk of exactly what happened here. She effectively bled to death along with having this emboli, that fatty emboli.
Russell's family is now...
That sounds so painful. Just bled out to death. After this error that the doctor made, after doing medical procedures for 14 hours, or being in this facility for 14 hours before he got to this patient. Let's continue on, man.
Seduction Cosmetic Center and Dr. Sampson alleging, among other things, that the center should not have let the doctor perform an unsafe number of procedures in a single day, especially since state records had him as the designated physician for the center and not as a surgeon who would be performing BBLs.
Doctor, if you could just tell me, were you pressured to do that many surgeries in one day?
During a medical board hearing in 2022, Dr. Sampson would not answer that question. He ended up accepting a settlement from the state that prohibits him from doing BBLs again.
Frankly, people expect better.
So he got a settlement from the state that he can't do BBLs again. So believe it or not, there's 49 other states that he could go to do BBLs. So he could just open up another practice in some other state that somebody who don't know about the story, that this man doing BBLs for 14 hours before he got to this patient. But let's continue on.
Care in the United States of America in these procedures, and it's care they're just not getting, unfortunately, at a lot of these facilities in Miami-Dade and Broward.
When asked about the lawsuit filed by Russell's family, Dr. Sampson's legal representative told us he was unable to comment on active litigation. A letter his previous attorney sent to the state says the doctor is understandably upset by what happened in this case, that he has performed over 10,000 liposuction procedures and approximately 7,500 BBLs in his practice, and this is the first time he has had any significant complication from either of these procedures, much less a patient death. Representatives for Seduction Cosmetic Center didn't respond when we asked about this lawsuit. According to the Russell family's attorney, they are filing this lawsuit to raise awareness and to try to prevent this from happening to another family, since recovering money is always difficult in these cases because many centers and doctors do not carry malpractice insurance.
Well, I'm glad that the family is trying to raise awareness, because that's what needs to be done. We need to raise awareness. We need to have a type of sense of awareness that's going on with these BBLs. And like I said, shout out to Naka, man. She's really been on the BBL bumper. I think we kind of sort of met through BBLs on social media, because doing BBL commentary. And you know, the pain that women go through, that I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? I was naive to that. I just thought that BBL procedure so much that it was just like a common thing now. I thought it was something so simple. I didn't know that BBLs have the highest mortality rate when it comes to plastic surgery. How did we get here? How did we get to where a mother of 5 will leave Tennessee, go to Miami to go get a procedure done, and knowing that this man doing procedures from 6:30 in the morning and allow this man to do a procedure at 8:30 at night? I guess it's a sense of trying to keep up with something that's not really sustainable. To see what social media have done to us mentally, for us to think that we have to look like the filters that we put on our faces. Now we have to have those filters to be applied in real life. Now you're starting to see lip fillers more and more and more. Like, it's just it's not attractive. You know what I'm saying? Man is naturally attracted to women. But when women start amplifying and augmenting their beauty and their features, it's no longer attractive. Like, I don't really know a man in my circle. Maybe they never told me, but I don't know any men that find a BBL attractive. I'll be like, yo, you like that? People like, nah, I don't like that. I don't like that. That's not something I enjoy. That's not something that I like. You know what I'm saying? Most men don't like BBLs that I know. You know, it been times like we just came back from vacation, we see women with BBLs, we laugh because it looks so ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It looks so fake. It just looks so weird. It don't look right in pants. It don't look good at all. You know what I mean? And it's just sad. And I want to share this video from Naka of a woman that was complaining about the pain that she went through with her BBL. Check this out.
On my butt, I was in so much pain. Like, oh my goodness, I was in so much pain. So after the surgery, I'm in the hospital room, and the doctor who did the surgery on me, he come up and, you know, asking me how I'm doing and everything, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I felt like I almost died. And you know how doctors are, he was like, I'm thinking he's playing, but you know, that's like not a nice way to play. I was like, oh, I felt like I almost died. He was like, no, you almost died. And I'm like, seriously? He was like, no, I'm not playing. Like, you really almost died. Like, if you would have waited a little longer, you actually could have died from the infection. I'm like, are you serious? So that whole week in the hospital and everything, and I have 3 children, like, oh my goodness, like, I went through so much behind getting that BBL.
As you can see, the woman is saying that she almost died. I'm telling you, this is very common. This is very common that women almost die on the table. Women almost die on the table. And now we are at a state where this standard of trying to get this microwave, quote unquote, beauty of surgery instead of just doing the work or just accepting your body, it's to the point that now is spilled over to the men. Let me give you a perfect example, man. I had a conversation with somebody who's gay, right? And to hear a gay man saying they're tired of men getting their bodies done. And I'm like, yo, we are going through the same thing, because straight men are saying we're tired of women getting their bodies done. And a gay man is saying, I'm tired of men getting their bodies done. So for what I understand, and if you gay, let me know in the comments, and you tired of men getting their bodies done. Men are getting fake calves and fake chests and fake stomachs and all this type of stuff. And to quote the great American philosopher Meg Thee Stallion, you know, y'all complain about BBLs, but you got the same scars. So people got the same scars because y'all doing the same type of procedures. Y'all going to the same doctors. You know what I'm saying? You got men out here getting mommy makeovers. It's crazy. It's definitely crazy. But let me know how you feel about this in the comments, man. Sad story, but I'm glad that the family is trying to bring awareness into this. And we need to have awareness to this. We need to know that this procedure have the highest mortality rate. So the risk is not worth the reward, because you go in there, there's a great chance you could die. And when you come out, you're gonna look stupid. So what's the reason for it? That's just my opinion. You look stupid. Some people may find it attractive, but you know, I ain't gonna hold you. I don't see too many women that's with BBLs is married, but that's another story for another day. Let me know how you guys feel about this in the comments, man. I appreciate the time. All right, man, till next time. Peace. Real Rap Ron is signing off. All right, later. One. Also, if you like this kind of content, please consider hitting subscribe and check out this other video YouTube suggested. I didn't suggest it, YouTube did, and YouTube do not lie. All right, peace.